Barcelona's CDM position has really been a discussion amongst Barcelona fans for the past few summer transfer window, as Barcelona are struggling to replace the beloved Sergio Busquets specifically for his line-breaking passes, ball recoveries and also the control that he offers, which is what you need to play for this Barcelona team. Until the arrival of this man, Mr. Hansi Flick. In this video, we're going to take a look at how he's actually managing those three attributes that you need. As always, do subscribe to the channel. Let's start. Sergio Busquets among Barcelona fans is believed to be the embodiment of this Barcelona structure, as he was often the one who was sitting in the middle of it. Often he was faking passes out wide, and then you would see him do these line-breaking passes which got into the likes of Messi and Iniesta and Xavi. He also became the embodiment of what a central defensive midfielder should be, also elevating that position with his line-breaking passes with a lot of creativity coming from his side. And also, even though he's playing in this position where he could lose the ball instantly, he was also extremely press resistant, releasing the likes of Messi, Villa and Pedro in behind the defense that will put him on goal easily. The question, however, how is Mr. Hansi Flick solving this problem? Or let me rephrase that. Rather, who is solving this problem for Barcelona at the moment? You see, us as fans has really created this expectation for our central defensive midfielder to do these line-breaking passes, for an example. However, it's not a question of the CDM doing it, it is just a question of, does it actually happen? Is there somebody that does it? Well, at the moment, that solely lies at the feet of Pau Cubarsí, who in my opinion is really an underrated passer of the ball, who's one of the best at the moment with these line-breaking passes that we often see from him. Not to mention even the balls over the top. We can see this in Rafinha's goal against Valladolid, where Lewandowski is dropping onto the ball and a perfect time shot is over the top to Rafinha and he could actually finish this off. This was so common with Sergio Busquets' balls over the top to the likes of Messi as well. But however, the fact is that we can see these passes being created and these passes being done. Nobody said that the central defensive midfielder needs to do it, as long as it's happening. And the switching of the play to one side or to the other side, Cubarsí is fully capable of doing just that. Barcelona's style of play is also often associated with control. And this is actually significant because it was often Xavi and Iniesta and Messi that took like all of the credit, but it was actually Sergio Busquets who was the one who got these teams on one side and that was controlling everything. He was the embodiment. And this is why I'm saying that we have created this false expectation of the central defensive midfielder doing all of these things because Sergio Busquets has been molding this position into his identity. He was often the one who was controlling these passes with the line-breaking passes, controlling the game, getting his teammates into better positions. A lot of these things are not done typically by defensive midfielders at all. Now, this video is not solely focusing on what Hansi Flick has done. I only think that Hansi Flick is the cherry on top because Xavi is actually the man that has put all of this together. The line-breaking passes from Cubarsí and also what you're about to see of who is controlling the game for Barcelona. Like, these players were just benefiting from the control that Sergio Busquets basically provided. We see that kind of like with Rodri at Manchester City. But right now we are seeing that the control is coming from the central midfielders / attacking midfielders higher up the pitch where they are much more involved. And this was put in place by Mr. Xavi, where he is actually having somebody like Pedri going and dropping a lot deeper to get on the ball and control the ball, just like he did back in the day, where Iniesta would stay up a little bit higher. And that is actually the role of Dani Olmo, and that is why the signing of Dani Olmo is significant for Barcelona, because he brings balance. He allows Pedri to be that deeper player that can control everything. Ultimately, these two players will be linking up and getting the ball up the pitch, and ultimately they will be finding the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal in between the lines. So that is the second thing that Xavi has put into place for FC Barcelona. I can say with confidence that the sacking of Xavi is purely down to the injury of Xavi. But let's see how Flick is actually avoiding that. You see that he has Pedri a little bit deeper along with Pau Cubarsí, of course, with the control and the line-breaking passes that Barcelona already has. But last season we didn't see this, and Gundogan does not have the ability to win the ball back. That was purely down to Mr. Xavi. But right now you see that Barcelona is collectively doing what we call the gegenpressing. This is what I was referring earlier to Mr. Flick being the cherry on top. And unlike with Xavi, when Barcelona retains the ball now, the verticality is really emphasized where one-way traffic is all that Mr. Flick wants to see. Previously, Xavi was the only player for Barcelona that had the tank and the resilience to actually retain the ball. But at the moment for Mr. Hansi Flick, when Barcelona get up the pitch with the verticality and when the ball is lost, you now see a collective effort from the team to get onto these players where they are really committed to get the ball back from the opponents. I believe that a lot of credit here needs to go to Xavi because he was the guy that was putting in the building blocks which Flick could just build a house with. Because he was the guy that saw Pau Cubarsí and for what he could do with those line-breaking passes. As well as he was the guy that saw that he could play Pedri a little bit deeper. He even tried this with Xavi. The only thing that Xavi failed to do was to win the ball back quickly since the injury with Xavi. That's why I was saying the injury of Xavi was basically the cause of the sacking of Xavi Hernandez. But with the style of this German coach, Mr. Hansi Flick, which the gegenpressing is a big part of him, he is able now to put all of that together and form it together nicely. Guys, let me know down in the comment section if you enjoyed this video. Also the style, I want to do a lot of cinematic videos like this in the future, maybe on pro player profiles. But let me know, what do you think? Subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching.